Welcome back to another Demon Souls walkthrough video. Today we're going to tackle 4-1 Island's Edge. First things first, if you've been following the playthrough, these videos are concurrent. They go one by one. So the first thing we're going to be doing is dropping off our items. Item management isn't that big of a deal in the remake, but not having that notification pop up is always a good thing. So we're going to keep our inventory a little bit clean here. Just drop off anything that you're not going to use. I'm pretty bad about hoarding grass, but you don't have to be. Also, if you've been following our build video by video, here are the stats that I allocated. I know in the previous videos I've stated that vitality is very important, and that is the #1 thing that I'm going to be doing here. It's going to be pumping up vitality plus 5 points. Vitality is, in my opinion, the best thing to boost. If you're not certain on a build that you want to go for a character, it's also very helpful if you're new to the game, allowing more mistakes to happen. The longer you live, the more you learn. But before we do that, definitely pop all of your souls that you have in your inventory. Not the boss souls. You want to kind of hang on to those just in case later on you can use these souls to create weapons or craft spells or anything like that later on. So any soul that's not a boss soul, hang on to or use them up. Once you have your stat points allocated, you're going to wander up here to stage 4-1. The Archstone of the Shadow Men. This stage, not the easiest. Island's Edge is a dangerous spot if you don't have a blunt weapon, so I highly recommend a mace or the Blessed Mace +1 that we found in our previous playthrough. Or a previous video. Blunt damage does bonus damage to skeletons. Very, very helpful. Right off Jump Street, you already see a skeleton forming up. Skeletons have a unique moveset. They roll towards you and they pull back to do a swing. The roll itself can stagger, so kind of be careful about that. And the safest way, the safest way of offense here is the whole block. Ugh, that lightning. Whole block, and after their attack bounces, just swing at them after that. Easy peasy. You can attempt to do a parry if you want to flash your kill or a backstab. Just be wary of kind of being overwhelmed by more than one skeleton. That's when things kind of get dangerous. A little bit of half moon grass here. This is also the area where you get bladestone shards and chunks if you know you're blessed and lucky. Like I said, just kind of take your time through here as you wander up these steps. And right there, it's very easy to get kind of ganged up on, but with our Blessed Mace +1, makes this a bit easier. If you're not comfortable with parries, don't worry about it. Just do a simple block and just counterattack, or you can get behind them, do a glorious backstab. Always feels good. As you mosey up the steps even further, well, you can see an item right here. We're going to be getting that item soon. As you wander up the steps a little bit further, you can see these mantas, these flying manta rays. Those things are a bit of a frustration to deal with, but we'll get through. You'll see also these two archers up top. Just be wary of them. They can be quite a nuisance. Especially if you attempt to fight those two skeletons at the base right here. It's a bad idea. You always want to lead them back. Once you go through the fog door, you're going to be seeing an old friend. Don't worry. He's not something you're forced to fight. He's optional, but we're still going to kill him a little bit later on. We're going to take a left here, and as you traverse this castle, you want to be very, very mindful of the floor. You want to look for pressure plates. Always keep your shield up. You can step on a pressure plate, set off a trap, and it can actually just kill you. So just be careful of that. The route I'm taking now is for the Crescent Falchion +1. It's guarded by a red skeleton, which is really dangerous, but the strategy that generally works, stand at a distance from him if you can. He will do a leap, get in behind him, do a backstab, rinse, repeat. They have a lot of HP. They do a lot of damage at this stage in the game, so you really want to be a bit careful. But if you just keep doing this strategy, you'll eventually get it down. And maybe if you're lucky, get a pure blade stone. The Crescent Falchion +1 early on is actually an amazing weapon, especially as a mage. It scales with your magic damage, and it can be really useful throughout the game. We're not going to be using that here. We're going to be keeping our mace, but just as an option, if you are playing a mage build and trying to kind of follow our path here, this is definitely a weapon you want to pick up early on if you can. After you finish, you're going to make your way to the top of the castle here. You just wander back, go up the stairs, and get prepared to fight some more skeletons. You're going to find a melee skeleton and those 2 archer skeletons that we've seen earlier. And also, at some point, you may be able to aggro one of the mantas here. I'm not sure. I feel like I remember them shooting at me a few times. But generally, they won't start aggroing you until you get to the courtyard. Take out these skeletons. Easy peasy. Put them on the ground and get shot in the back by a different one. Like I said, this stage is full of annoyances. Keep wandering over. Make your way down. Keep your shield up. Look out for pressure plates. They literally are everywhere here. You don't want to get on that pressure plate. You'll see why in a second. I'll show you. You'll pick up a copper key, which we're going to be using a little bit later on. But you can see the traps on the wall. You step on that pressure plate, boom. Double whammy. You don't want that. After you get the copper key, wander on back all the way around. And cut across the top here. This is where the archer that shot us in the back earlier is. Just make your way down. And you're going to come to another hallway. Always keep your shield up, like I said, in this area. And be very careful with skeletons in hallways like this. Big problem new players are going to have here is your weapon's going to bounce off the side and you're just wide open for an attack. So just make sure that isn't you. And also be careful. There's not just 1 skeleton or 2 skeletons. There's actually 3. We're going to wander up and fight the 3rd one here. Again, if you're not comfortable with parrying, take your time. Here we have 2 paths. We're going to take the left one here. This will lead us to the skeleton archer. We want to take him out. There's your good old compound longbow if you got the stats for that. We do not. And this direction will actually lead us to a unique to the Souls series kind of an engagement. We're going to run into our friend, or our sparkly twinkly crow friend. The trade mechanic works here by dropping, and keyword drop, not discard. So you want to drop an item of the crow's choice and then relog your game. Do that by just like save and quitting in the area and then coming back, and the item that you traded for will be there. There's a specific set of items, and I will leave a list of those in the comment section below, or in the description below, I'm sorry, if you're curious. You basically are going to drop an item, log out, log back in, and it should be something different if it's of the crow's choice. Continuing on, you want to drop down, snag this lizard for some easy moonshade stone shards. That's a mouthful. And once you get done there, you're just going to follow your other path back downward. Now, instead of going left this time, we're going to take a right. Look at this wall. It's an invisible wall. Knock that out and be very, very careful here. This part can be really dangerous. So just be very careful. As you can see, I'm kind of just moseying up to this spot right here. There's 2 skeletons, one on each side of you. If you wander in too fast, you can easily get pincered by both of these skeletons and get stuck and just die. Like 2 skeletons swinging at you on each side. So your goal here is to aggro them, run back into this area here, and then try your best to try to lead one of them at a time. See how I did that there? Just kind of kept wandering forward just slightly. And we got one out. Now we can get the other one knocked out easy enough. But that part's really dangerous. It kills people all the time. After defeating them, you want to wander to the right. You can unlock the door via the copper key that we just found. The items aren't great from the NPC, but, you know, saving lives, good peoples, all that good stuff.
I suppose I owe you now. I'm Blige, a grave robber. It's thanks I can provide you with useful goods. Who couldn't do with a little help down in these parts?
As you can see, most things, again, very overpriced. You can find almost all of this out in the world, so you don't really want any of this stuff, but I'm going to show you just in case.
Nothing suits your fancy? Well,
After you get done,
a bit of indulgence.
close out the dialogue, and there's an item in the back left here. I'm going to pick that up. A little side note, the box is right here. They actually have a ceramic coin here in fractured mode. I'm going to make a video on how to find all the ceramic coins after we get done with our main playthrough video. After saving the vendor, we'll wander back down the opposite direction, and there's another hidden door that we open. After the door, be very wary of another pressure plate trap, so keep that shield up. And freedom. And manta. If you have a ranged weapon, you can take these out. We do not. Here, we're going to find our flying butt-stomping friend from Journey to the Nexus. Use the same strategy as before if you decide to fight him. Keep to the butt, back off on flight. Be careful of the flying manta rays as well. Their shots can actually set you up for some real damage if you're not careful. Their shot can stagger you, knock you back while the demon swings at you, and you could just die. So be very, very mindful of that. Just keep your health high and fight this at your own pace. If you're having a lot of trouble here, the fight is optional. You don't have to do this, but we're going to do it. A little extra souls never hurt anyone. Especially at this point in the game. These mantas are super frustrating to deal with. If you listen for their cues, there is like a sound. There's a sound that they make right before they shoot whatever this is, these spikes at you. On the PS3 version of Demon Souls, that sound was very easy to kind of hear. This one, it's a little harder. It's still fairly obvious when they're gonna shoot their shot at you, but just be mindful. Take your time. Keep your health very high. About the only tips that you need here. And also, the Crescent Falchion may do more damage than the mace here. I didn't even think to take it off and try it, but give it a go if you're curious. Just to show you how much damage you can take here. That was actually a little blocked with our two-hander. I thought I wasn't in two-handed mode. I was. But like I said, if you ever get in trouble, back up, listen for the shots coming your way. Just heal up. Get in a safe spot. Once the demon's down, get yourself a glorious chunk of 958 souls, which is okay at this level. A gray demon soul as well. These damn mantas. And also, you can wander around the courtyard now, kind of free reign. You don't have to worry about aggroing anything other than the flying things in the air, flying mantas. You can find a few items here. Kind of mosey around. Be careful not to fall off the ledge, obviously. But once you finish up here, you are going to wander back towards where we popped out of the ground at. You'll see a fog door. You don't want to go to that fog door just yet. Just keep wandering to the left. There's another item over here. Again, keep on being careful with these manta shots. They're going to be a thing from here on, so you definitely need to practice learning the sound cue. You can get you a soul, get you a little bit of cloudstone shards. Once you get that, just wander back up, go through the fog door, and we can continue on. Fun note, when you are traversing fog doors, nothing can hurt you. This part, be very careful at. What we can't see here currently, there's a black skeleton to the left. You do not want to aggro him with the archer and the melee skeleton. You want to take them out one by one. Kind of stick to the right. That way you don't risk kind of making the black skeleton mad there. The red eye skeleton. That thing, yeah. He does some damage, but hey, same strategy as before. Wander back, keep your shield up, bait out an attack, do a backstab. And once he's down, you're going to claim your reward from the corner here. This thing. Oh, mama. This is the Adjudicator shield. It's perfect for the build that we're currently going for, our faith build. Regeneration in this game actually stacks. And with the Blessed Mace +1, which has a regen effect, as well as the shield, we now have 2 regens active. It's very, very helpful for new players, and it gets even better in a little bit. But now that we have 2 regens, you can actually see my health up top. It doesn't look too impressive yet, but by the time we start getting this build going, you'll see why I believe faith builds are the best for new players. I want to go back up the ladder here. Wander over. You can find a few more items for your pickings. Some grass, some souls. And once you're done pillaging everything, you want to go back to the top of the area where you got the shield. Do a little run jump here. I mean, there's no jumping in Demon Souls, but if you hop down there, you can actually skip this pressure plate, and you can see where the trap shoots from right there. If you go the normal way, that trap shoots you in the back. So, just to show that off. You're usually coming in the other direction, but after that, keep wandering down, and this is one of the more frustrating parts, I think, for newer players. Putting up with manta rays shooting you from above. And I know they actually have a real name. I just keep calling them manta rays. I don't know what they're actually called. Stormbringers or storm rulers or something. But this area right here, you got to deal with being shot at, and you also have to put up with some high damage. Some high damage golden skeletons. right there is actually really dangerous. You don't want to do kind of what I'm doing here. You want to aggro them and drag them back to a safer location. Right here on the edge, as you can see from my health, really dangerous spot. You're getting pelted, you're getting hit. You get hit with these skeletons, their knockback is really dangerous to knock you off the ledge. So just kind of take your time here if you're struggling, especially. The ledge does work both ways, so you can knock you can knock these skeletons off as well. Once done, go through the fog gate. A little bit of respite here. You don't have to worry about being shot constantly. You know, wander up. You can pick yourself up a little bit of grass here. And there's also a grave robber's ring if you walk the plank here. The grave robber ring has its uses. I don't really mess with it that much, but it does have its uses. And after that, you want to go, well, stay on the top floor, and there's a small region here of beat down wall that you can traverse. Get yourself a soul, wander down to the bottom of it, get another shard, and you'll see a lizard. You want to kill that lizard if you can. If not, no biggie. I think it's just cloudstone shards if I'm not mistaken. You do want to be careful though. If you do kill the lizard, oh, it's moon shadestone shards. Okay. You do knock the lizard off as it dies and you can't loot it. That does count for a life, I believe. You can see that cliff we just traversed right there where it wanders you up. You want to climb that and you find our third piece of regen set, the Regenerator's ring. Having the Regenerator's ring, the Blessed Mace, and the Adjudicator shield on, that gives you a pretty good chunk of health back. Just sitting around waiting. Like if you get in trouble, you can always get somewhere and kind of hide. Watch out for this pressure plate here. We're almost at the end. You don't want to mess up here. Push the plate. And after that, you're going to see our friend, the red eye skeleton again. You're going to kill him, and that is basically it for 4-1. Again, same strategy applies. Bait out an attack. Go towards the back. Get a backstab in. You can get some extra shots. Get some extra shots. If you don't feel comfortable, just keep it slow. And with that, that is 4-1 complete. Guys, I want to say thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below and I'll respond to them as soon as I can. We can try and help you out if you're having a little bit of trouble. But again, just want to say thank you all for watching and we'll see you all on the next one.